work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Join the peace police, keep America great.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Peace Police broadcast this Sunday, what is it, the 9th, I believe, of February in the year 2020. Isn't that crazy? I'm Rick White, your co-host for this broadcast, and I'm with my brother and friend Lowell Pass on the Peace Police. Say hi, Lowell.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
We're glad to be here. We were off last week. Sorry we didn't really let you know about that, but we're guessing that you figured it was Super Bowl Sunday. And you know what's funny is Lowell and I normally do this broadcast in two different states. Lowell's in the Las Vegas area and I'm in the Phoenix area. But last week we were together for 5 days and it was awesome, huh, brother?
It was a great time. We got in the studio, did some of our music stuff, and boy, I appreciate that, Rick. You got a great studio there.
We had fun, and you know what? Maybe in the future we'll, when we have more time and it's not Super Bowl Sunday, we'll connect again live and do a live broadcast, so it won't be such a split screen, you know. But the beauty of this technology is this is great. I mean, think about this 20, 25 years ago, you know,
Wow.
30, you know, you whatever, 400 or 500 miles away, me here, and we're live and simultaneous, simulcast broadcast. I remember an old Saturday Night Live skit when Al Franken, before he became a senator, used to be the mobile uplink unit, and he had a satellite dish on his head, and that's how he tried to broadcast live, right? But now we just do it in our house. It's a great.
That's amazing, yeah.
It's really amazing. So lots has happened since we were on. It's been about 2 weeks. One of them was President Trump got acquitted, and it's pretty crazy. You know, if you watch us, you know that what we're about here is the three core values, which we'll talk about in a second, of peace, civility, and discourse. And what the Peace Police really is just an organization of people that agree, hey, we can disagree politically. We're going to disagree politically. But we shouldn't resort to name calling or violence or anything like that. And I gotta say, these are the moments in history, and especially in our current event history, that we have to be on the lookout. You know, Trump got acquitted, and a lot of people are angry, huh, Lowell?
Yeah.
They're losing their minds out there, you know.
Yeah, the derangement syndrome, it happens on both sides, you know, but this is the worst we've ever seen it for any president, and I'm telling you, it's tending toward violence and really just unrest completely.
It is. In fact, I have a video I can show. I can't show the audio, which is probably good because there's a lot of F words in it. But this is just a video of a guy who's a Trump supporter standing outside, I think, of a rally or something like that. And he gets confronted by a whole bunch of people in, you know, kind of hiding their faces. They seem to be pretty young. And just watch what they do to this guy. I can't really play the audio, but I'll talk you through what's happening here. So let me share this.
They wouldn't leave him alone.
No, they wouldn't. So they're squirting him with silly string, and they're poking him with umbrellas. And they're saying things like, get the F out, we don't want you here, Nazi. Look at this. It's a whole group of masked people who are really cowards, actually. Because, look, he's trying to get away.
He's trying to peacefully escape the situation.
Right. And I got to tell you, let me stop this here. So what's amazing about that is that he just doesn't hit back. He moves away. He's got to be in fear for his life. I would be thinking, I'm going to die.
Yeah, there are a pack of thugs beating up on him, yeah.
And you know, that was in Oregon, and Oregon has a stand your ground law. And if he was a concealed carry person, he would be within his rights completely to pull that gun, because he left. He was trying to leave. He wasn't trying to engage them, and they were a mob. And he could have pulled that gun out, maybe fired in the air, and if he had to, he could have shot those people and he would have been justified. Nobody wants that, but I mean, look at that. That's what we've come to. This is, the cowardice involved in that blows me away. You cover your face, you get a group of 30 of you, and you pick on a single person. That just blows me away.
Well, it's getting dangerous, and here's the thing. These people, they've interviewed a bunch of them before, this Antifa or whatever
Right.
type, and to tell you the truth, they can never even tell you why they support the side that they do or what they hate about Trump. They don't even know. They're just emotionally driven almost to a psychotic state by the mentioned name of Trump, and they can't, you try to mention any of the 400 accomplishments he's done, you wouldn't get a chance because they can't even tell you one reason why they're doing what they are.
No, it's scary, and I hate to paint with a broad brush, but I think it's safe to say that the people that have done the most studying on the liberal side, on the Democratic side, and who are the most astute, they have arguments, and you can talk to them, and they're civil. But it's the mass of people who have believed what the media has said, that Orange Man bad and Orange Man going to kill us all, and so that's all they needed to hear. And in a lot of their minds, and of course I'm not saying every Democrat or every liberal is like this, but
not by a long shot,
no,
right?
But what we're seeing in these kind of events are people who are losing it, and they feel like it's their mission in life to disrupt and even harm. And you get the feeling if they could take Trump out, they would do it. And I hate to say that, but some of them, even celebrities, have said that. Like, what's the guy
even
from
a Congress person or two? That's right.
Right, the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. What's his name? He said, he said it's been a long time since an actor shot a president back in Lincoln's day, and maybe it's time to do that again.
Yeah, and blow up the White House.
Yeah.
And there's been about 15 of them, to be honest with you, about 4 of them Congress people,
Right.
and about 4 of them movie stars or more than that.
Yeah, Johnny Depp is who I was thinking of.
Johnny Depp, and singers, and it's just to the point where there is no basic human American respect. And I say American respect because our country is different than all the socialist Marxist countries where you cannot say anything.
That's right.
But it's getting to the point where some people want not only the Second Amendment gone, but they want the First Amendment gone as well.
Right.
And you're right to be able to vote who you want, say who you want, wear whatever color hat with whatever name you want, and to express your opinion should be gracefully and gratefully received, even if it's in opposition to what you believe, because that's the freedom that we have.
That's right.
And now they're going to push to the point where they're even promoting something they have no concept of what is, which is socialism.
Right.
And it's all Marxism, whether it's communism, socialism, progressivism, humanism. Those are all forms of Marxism, which always lead to the same pit of people not having freedoms anymore, or personal rights, or personal property anymore. Sorry, I got off on a tangent, but that's where these people are pushing. And I think there's going to have to come a time, Rick, where the core of the Democrat Party, if they still want to remain relevant and trusted by the country as a whole, they're going to have to say no, enough of this stuff.
Yeah, but the problem, I agree with you 100%. And you could see right now where it could split, right? There's the people like Biden and Pelosi and some of these others who aren't socialists and who think socialism is a bad idea, even though Biden's kind of changing his colors for political expediency recently. But then you've got the AOC wing of the party. And you know what? Here's the problem, Lowell, is if those split, which they should, they're idealistically opposed to each other. But if they split, it's the end of the Democratic Party because it's not just a few people. So then you'll have two parties who really split that 50% of the country into two 25s or maybe 30-20. And that guarantees Republican victory. And so because of that, Nancy and these other guys are in this bind where they
Yeah,
have
they
to
are.
embrace them, or but
Well,
what's
and even but when you consider too, Rick, they're even saying, "Come on, all you people. We don't want any borders, any walls, any frontiers. Come on in. We'll let you vote. Everything else. There's a reason for that, you know."
Yeah, that's right. It's really silly. It's really crazy, and it's obviously you and I come from the conservative end of things, and we could talk about that and debate it forever about
Sure.
why conservatism seems to make more sense to us. I remember a saying that said if you're 18 years old and conservative, you're crazy. But if you're 35 plus and liberal, you're even more crazy.
I've heard that.
Because I was like, I remember being a kid at 18 years old, and there was a big no nukes. This is back, we're talking like 1979, 80.
Wow. Mhm.
No nukes was the thing, and all my favorite artists,
Yeah.
Fogelberg, James Taylor, Bonnie Raitt, Jackson Brown, the Doobie
Yep.
Brothers, all of them put that album together, which I loved, which was all about
Great.
how we're all gonna die. They even had songs on the album that they wrote for this topic called "Plutonium is Forever" and
Yeah.
and "After the Deluge" and all these songs, and they were great. And I was into it, man.
Me
I was
too.
into it until I started doing a little learning and a little studying, and you realize that nuclear power was very efficient. It's very cost efficient. You could have all the solar in the world. It's not going to replace it. It's more efficient than coal. It's less pollutant. I started reading all this stuff, and you're just like, wow, these guys are just ginned up, and they don't have the facts. And so I changed, But that's what happens, and you get the fear out there that these days there's a whole group of people ginned up that Donald Trump is the devil incarnate, and that everything he's ever done or said is evil and bad. But man, that flies in the face of everything we're seeing, unemployment.
Well, and the way they've tried to catch him, they can't get him on a jaywalking,
Right.
charge. It wouldn't pass muster in a small claims court,
Right,
But they've tried and incessantly, and they've said they're going to keep trying.
right.
So we can expect the peace police to be pretty relevant.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. How is this relevant? I mean, you got to hear for the last 10 minutes, Lowell and I kind of give you our personal feelings on things, and that's fine. And you know what? The three core tenets of the peace police are peace, civility, and discourse. That last one, discourse, means say what you feel. Let's hear opinions, and that's what you heard from us. The difference is we're never going to say on this show that liberals are deplorable, not human, scumbags who should be eradicated. That the best liberal is a dead liberal. We're not going to say stuff like that, even though that stuff is said all the time about Trump supporters and conservatives. So the discourse, what you've heard now is just us kind of talking. Let's talk about the other two, peace, civility, and discourse. The Bible says, so far as it's possible with you, be at peace with people. I have to work on this, and I don't get all three of these. I don't get them right 100% of the time.
No one does. No.
Yeah, and I don't get the peace thing right. If there's two paths in front of me with a person, one is conflict that keeps escalating, and the other is peace and a way to calm the conflict. This is what we should take. But sometimes I want to be right so bad that I will escalate the conflict. So that's what we mean by peace. As far as it's possible with us, we should seek peace. It doesn't mean compromise all your values, doesn't mean any of that. It just means pick which hill you're going to die on. Do you really want to die on this hill? Do you really want to fight this battle? That's peace. Civility. Civility just means, listen, here's how I like to think about it. If you were in court as a lawyer and you feel really passionate about something, you cannot in court call the other lawyer or the other side a bunch of morons, idiots. You can't say those things. The judge will find you in contempt. You know why? Because there's a general respect and decorum in that room in front of the judge. And all I'm saying is that's what civility means. And we should do that even when there's not a judge there. Do you have the right to call people names? Absolutely. Should you? It doesn't help. It makes you feel better. it doesn't help them because they're going to get defensive and it's just going to escalate. So civility is stop the escalation, talk nice. It's kindergarten rules. Talk nice. Yeah. Use your words, right? And then discourse. Let's talk about it. Those are the 3 core values of the Peace Police. And that's what we're here to talk about. That's our message. And Lowell, why don't you just take just a minute or two to talk about, how we started. Why are we even here?
Yeah, just real quickly, it's about almost 2 years. This July, it'll be 2 years. And I had a series of dreams in late June, called you up. They were dreams about, they were repetitive, one of these sequential, they keep happening same dream, And I saw the 2 sides, the political sides fighting each other with such a ferocious hate. Right. That I thought, man, this is nuts. And I called you up and said, we need to start a peace movement or something. And you checked, and we had the Peace Police available. That's the name I actually saw in the dream on the shirts of these other people, a grassroots group of people in the middle who said, look, I may be conservative or I may be liberal or whatever, but we're saying knock it off. Right. We can be peaceful, civil, and we can talk about stuff. And it's not acceptable to be violent and attack others. And so we formed the Peace Police. You came up, you're a great artist and also songwriter. You came up with our theme song, which you heard in the beginning, and also this great logo, which is embroidered on these hats you can get. And you want to strike up a conversation, just put one of these on, and I'm going to tell you, people will ask you, what's that all about? And you can simply say, we think it's time for people to quit fighting and being uncivil and hateful with each other.
Right.
That's what it's all about. And got a few hundred followers, and I can tell you, in the next 11 months, 10 months now, or 9, and then after the election, I don't think it's going to stop the hatred. So we got to be a stalwart against that,
That's right, Lowell. And there's ways you can be involved. You can go to peacepolice.net. Let me pull that up real quick so you can see it. It's a really cool website. We've got some great stuff on there. You can read about how we started. You can hear what Lowell just talked about and how he had those dreams and all that stuff. Some other cool things there. There's a link to the iTunes version of our song, which is called Spread the Peace. And those words are pretty cool, spread the peace, stop the hate, let's work together before it's too late. Listen, we wouldn't be the first democracy that imploded. We wouldn't be the first democracy that failed and ended up becoming a dictatorship or, some sort of other monarchy or some other situation because people just couldn't handle the responsibility. And so we need to work together before it's too late. We got to find ways to work together. And so you can check out that song. Let me share the screen real quick so you can see the Peace Police website. That's it right there. And then there's some other things you can do on there. You can look at the core values that we just talked about, which are peace, civility, and discourse. You can check out the theme song, like I just mentioned. And if we click on that, you'll see the lyrics are there and then the link. So there's the lyrics. And then right over here, you can go to iTunes and check it out. You can join the Peace Police. And what does that mean? There's no monthly dues. There's no fee. There's no cost at all. All you're doing by joining the Peace Police is saying, hey, I agree with you guys. Even if I'm liberal and you're conservative, or I'm Democrat, you're Republican, I agree with you that we should be peaceful, civil, and have discourse. And so there's 5 little statements, things like, I promise to listen carefully to those with differing opinions before rebutting them, and to believe the best about them, even though we disagree. Could you imagine if everyone acted that way? So you go to that website, you put in your first name, last name, and email, and they'll generate a really cool certificate that says you are with the Peace Police, and we sign it, and it's a cool thing. You can go a message the message from the founder, which is Lowell, and he talks about the dream and how things went on there. Then there's a page called Know Your Rights, where we let you see kind of things that matter as far as how close can you get to someone? Are you allowed to touch someone you disagree with that's a stranger? Can you go out and put your hands on them? Things like that. That's a good thing.
Constitutional, right.
Right. And then finally, you can shop. And if you shop, you can get these hats. And there's some deals on there where if you buy more than one, you get free shipping and things like that. Or if you buy 5, you get 1 free, things like that. What matters about the hat is it's a conversation starter. And you don't have to have the whole spiel down. All you have to do is say, yeah, I wear this hat because I believe that people should be civil and nice to each other and at least be respectful. And you can see here, you can buy the hats, buy 4, get 1 free, all that stuff. Buy 2, get 10% off. And so that's where you can get those. And just go ahead and do that. And then again, this logo that you see here will start the conversation. Maybe your only response is, yeah, it's a group that I think is really cool called the Peace Police. Check them out on peacepolice.net. Even if that's all you said, people will check us out. But if you add, they're trying to get liberals and conservatives, Republicans and Democrats to play nice with each other. That's what we're trying to do.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, it's cool, and I think it's a worthwhile thing. We've been doing it for 2 years. We wouldn't have kept with it if it wasn't worthwhile. It doesn't earn us money. It costs us money. It costs us of our time and our talent and our finances. However, it's important. We may not be able to change the tide. I hope we can. And we wouldn't do this if we thought it was impossible. But I hope we can, because what lies ahead for us if we don't turn things around is it's just going to get worse. There's just going to be more fighting. We're going to be more polarized. You're going to lose family members, things like that. So interesting stuff. Lowell, you have anything else you want to share? We're getting close to the
No,
end.
we've probably gone long enough today, and I appreciate it. Was a good call, and I always have a good time when I'm sharing with you on these matters. And next week we're going to be talking about something that people have asked about, the frequently asked questions.
Yes.
And your wife came up with an idea. Why don't you guys cover that, because you got a lot of questions.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
So it's a great idea, and I think we'll go into that starting next week.
We'll do it. My wife's pretty smart when it comes to
She
stuff
is
like
indeed.
this. All right. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you next week. Brother Lowell, we'll see you in a few minutes on our next broadcast for No Good Christians. Thank you all. Remember this: spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late.
Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Now brave men died to keep you free. They paid the greatest price, so you could speak your mind and live a long and happy life. But I turn on the news and see us fighting with each other. These hateful attitudes are turning brothers